Add Drew Brees to the list of starting quarterbacks who are down for the count. His right throwing hand hit Aaron Donald during a pass attempt on Sunday. The Saints got torched by the Rams 27-9, and New Orleans didn't score a touchdown with Teddy Bridgewater leading the offense. Here's Brees after the game.
I am concerned. I'm hoping it's not too significant. You're hitting your hands on stuff all the time, right? Helmets and different things, and you might get jam thumbs, jam fingers, different things where it swells up and what have you. But this felt like it was something a bit more significant, preventing me from gripping the ball. There's only so much you can do here other than just having the doctor look at it on the sideline. And again, I'm going to see a hand specialist and get his opinion, and then we'll see what the next steps are.
Damien Woody is in the building. How we feeling? How we living?
I'm wonderful. I said that I'm going to be
back.
You look
nice.
Thank you. We're kind of twinning a little bit. I said I was going to be back every week. Dallas Cowboys won again, and we know a certain person at the table how they feel about the Cowboys and everything. Yeah. So
they're not just winning. I mean, they're doing the damn thing.
But on
another level.
The Cowboys won. Damien has the handkerchief coming out. If the Cowboys make the Super Bowl, he's going to wear a tuxedo.
Listen. I think I'm going to get real comfortable sitting right over here.
Yeah.
First of all,
cozy. We got the chair for you always.
First two victories were against the Redskins. I'm sorry, it was
the Giants.
The Giants and the Redskins. Okay. First of all. Secondly, not about you. About you.
Oh.
See. This is equal opportunity here. Obviously, you being the matriarch of this show, you're incredibly empowered. That means it's all right for us to come at you.
Okay.
And the fact of the matter is, Molly, you sit up there and give her opinion, and then she got the next day off. No, I'm gonna be looking for you because you've been talking a lot. She's been talking a lot of smack.
I ain't
gonna get to you because you're here. I ain't got no beef with you.
The Giants are out.
I'm just saying. Molly is good for this. Molly like yeah. And then something happened and I can't find her. She's chilling somewhere. No. I'm going to remember, and I'm going to hold on to these quotes that you say. All of this other stuff. I'm just remembering. Y'all talking right now. The Redskins and the Giants, and y'all sitting here sticking out your chest like this a big deal. Go ahead.
They look
y'all
real
go ahead.
Yeah.
Y'all go ahead. And by the way,
all right, we got to get to the topic. I got it.
None of us said that.
Stephen A., listen, when you want to come at me, all I ask for is one thing. Eye contact. All right, Max Kell, you're up. Yes. Are the Saints done without Brees?
No, they're not done without Brees. Look, why do you have Teddy Bridgewater? Teddy Bridgewater, let's take for granted, he's not a franchise quarterback. Mm-hmm. Let's just say, even though maybe before the injury he was trending, it was unclear whether he would, but let's say he's not. But can he play quarterback? If he's not a franchise quarterback, what that means is he's on this team. Like, why do you pay a guy like that to be on your team? You pay him if you think you have a shot that year, and you have and that's it. And your franchise quarterback may go down. The franchise quarterback went down. The Saints thought they had a shot. So to prepare for that disaster, rather than get a young guy they'll coach up eventually to take the reins of the whole franchise, they have a Teddy Bridgewater, to hold it down. That's why you have him. We saw him, am I making it up? Didn't he win 11 games in the NFL as a game manager? Okay, but he's not like Patrick Mahomes or Carson Wentz, we were just talking about, can make these spectacular plays, but he throws a pretty spiral. He can read a defense. He has NFL experience.
I actually throw a pretty spiral if you ever see me on the beach.
He throws, what you going to call him next? The second coming to Michael Jackson because he doesn't wear the glove? Is that what we're doing now?
That's right.
Is the glove set, does it need to be shiny too?
Is Teddy Bridgewater an NFL quarterback? Yes. He's one of the best backups you could have on your team. And you don't have it if you're a franchise not going. You have it for this situation. The situations come to pass. They can still make the playoffs.
The Saints are done without Drew Brees. Period. I like Teddy Bridgewater. I'm not saying that he isn't starter material under most franchises. He's 17-12 in his career as a starting quarterback. Career 64% completion percentage, 29 touchdowns, okay? 29 touchdowns in 2 full seasons, 23 interceptions, all right? This is all I'm trying to say to you. And I say 2 full seasons because even though he's been in the league for 5 years, only 2 years was he really a starter. So a vast majority of those numbers came when he was starting. Teddy Bridgewater was considered relatively pedestrian. Mm-hmm. He's a guy that for the most part would not beat himself. Was he a difference maker? No. Was he somebody that was going to really shake the foundation of a franchise potentially and lead you to the promised land? No. He was the quintessential backup who could start for various teams. But this is the reason why I say the Saints are done without Drew Brees. Because Drew Brees is not just great, he's a fixture. And the camaraderie, the chemistry that he has with Sean Payton, that he has with Michael Thomas, that he has with Alvin Kamara and those boys, that is going to be severely compromised in his absence. If this was a matter of just talent per se, then I'm sitting there going like this, well, Teddy Bridgewater has a chance. But it's not just about talent. It's all of those other intangibles that come along with the equation. Being around somebody, working with them every day, knowing their tendencies and vice versa. All of those things come into play. And Drew Brees has been a fixture. This dude doesn't miss games. So the fact that Teddy Bridgewater is going to be in there now and Drew Brees is going to be out, if he's out for any lengthy period of time, I'm going to be the first to say, and I'll apologize if I'm wrong, but I'm going to be the first to say the Saints are done. They ain't going no damn place. Certainly not to the playoffs.
I think you're wrong. I think the Saints are not done, and here's why. First of all, just looking at yesterday's game, it's tough for any quarterback to come in that spot on the road against a very good Los Angeles Rams team and be efficient enough to win that game. That's a tough spot for any backup quarterback. That's one. Number two, okay, I think we will all agree at this table that Sean Payton is not only one of the best head coaches, but one of the best offensive minds in the National Football League. Okay? We've seen Doug Peterson take Nick Foles, who was a backup quarterback with Carson Wentz, and made him play to the point where he not only won a Super Bowl, but came back again the following year when Carson Wentz got hurt and took them into the playoffs. Okay, we're talking about Nick Foles here. I don't think anyone can sit here and say that Nick Foles is like the distance between
as high as Bridgewater. Bridgewater was drafted ahead.
Listen, I don't think anyone at this table can sit here and say that Nick Foles, that there's a big difference between a Nick Foles and a Teddy Bridgewater. I don't think anyone can say that. Coaching matters. Sean Payton is one of the best coaches in the National Football League. He'll get him coached up with him being the starter and him getting all the reps in practice. My third point, okay? Look at the division that the New Orleans Saints play in, the NFC South. Okay. Cam Newton, we see what he's looking like right now with the Carolina Panthers. He looks like a shell of himself, okay? Are you scared of Tampa Bay? Are you scared of the Atlanta Falcons? I'm sorry. Offensively, yes, they have firepower. But my bigger point is, in that division, we had thoughts in our head that this division was maybe stronger than what it is right now. I think that all the New Orleans Saints have to do is hold down the fort. I don't know how long Drew Brees is going to be out. But I think Sean Payton can coach up Teddy Bridgewater where they're competitive within that division.
Well, let me say a couple of things. Number one, I think that the Saints lose at least 3 games in their division without Drew Brees. I think they lose both games to Atlanta, and I think they lose at least 1 to Carolina. That's number one. Number two, I will say this about Sean Payton. We got all up in him because the whining needed to stop in terms of the pass interference that wasn't in the NFC Championship game and how long he whined and moaned about that and what have you. We got on him about that. I tell you something right now. That was a damn touchdown yesterday by Cameron Jordan. There's no reason why that play should have been stopped.
They got robbed.
They got robbed again. Yeah. And so the fact that these mistakes continue to be made against the New Orleans Saints, to me, they have a right to be in an uproar about that because it shouldn't be happening. It often happens against them. I agree with that. Having said all of that, again, what I'm going to go back to is that Teddy Bridgewater, you got to remember, he ain't played in a while now. Hadn't played in a while. And I know that he's better than most backups and probably some starters. If this were another team, that would be different. If it were Pittsburgh, for example, where you got Ben Roethlisberger getting injured from time to time, missing some games from time to time, that would be different. This is Drew Brees we talking about. Drew Brees and Sean Payton are married.
Look. I'm not saying they're going to win the Super Bowl with Teddy Bridgewater, and I don't think you can say he's Nick Foles. He was drafted in the first round, last pick of the first round. Foles was a third-round pick. But Foles, the reason we're so impressed now is he has, like, magic about him, man. When he gets into big situations, he just has that extra something. Maybe Teddy Bridgewater has that, but you can't just assume that about a dude. In terms of the other stuff, like if you just X's and O's it, sure, they're comparable maybe. Maybe Bridgewater is in that same vicinity as Foles, but that's not the point. Is if you put on an excellent team with an excellent coach, an offensive line, a defense that can stop the run, running backs, including running backs who can catch passes, a wide receiver, like elite guy like Michael, you take all that. What you need is a competent quarterback in order to make the playoffs. Is Teddy Bridgewater a competent quarterback? Of course he is.
Yes.
That's
He's
why
a
you
competent quarterback.
hold on.
All right, we're out of
Matt,
time.
I think in New Orleans, you need more than competency to get
But
you.
Max, you actually made my point because you talked about Sean Payton. Doug Peterson did the same thing for Nick Foles. Okay, that's what when we rave about Nick Foles, a lot of it has to do with Doug Peterson and his coaching. Listen, if we're gonna rave about Sean, I think Sean Payton's a top 5. Would you agree that Sean Payton's a top 5 head coach in the National Football League?
Probably, yeah.
Oh, probably. Okay. He is.
Yep.
He is.
Okay.
So you would think that now that Teddy Bridgewater is the starter, it's going to be the starter for the foreseeable future. With him getting all the reps,
I agree with
he's
you there.
going to get caught up.
That's why you and I agree they can make the playoffs. What I'm saying is, even with all that, to assume Nick Foles magic in that situation.
Well, I'm not saying that he's going to win the Super Bowl, but when I'm saying that they can still make the playoffs.
All right, the left side of the table are still believers, but let's keep in mind he's not Drew Brees, who since 2006, when he entered the league, has missed one game, that was in 2015, and leads all quarterbacks in passing yards.